Welcome back to the It Just Works podcast. My name is Cameron. I'm a director and founder of Clear Sky.
My name's Alfred, and I am whatever I want to be.
That's facts, dude. We do not discriminate here, and we have a great show. We got some new camera tech that we could talk about, like the Nikon ZR, the new rumored releases in Sony, DJI, and Canon.
Exciting.
We talk about how we're coming out with a sequel to none other than Hunger Games. Mm-hmm. And it's not really a sequel, it's a prequel. But it's a sequel to the prequel, which makes it a prequel.
Sequel to the prequel that they already had. So that's a prequel to the regular movie. I don't know.
No, don't do enough math, right? Because
it's too early for that.
Ridley Scott already did the math, and he's saying that Hollywood is dying in mediocrity. And the only good movies to watch are his own. And that is on our agenda. And then at the very end, we're going to talk about our favorite AI videos and maybe talk a little bit about Sora and AI. Now it's been out for a couple weeks.
Love it.
Sweet. So let's dive into it. So what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about this Nikon ZR?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So I'll set the stage, right? Because I've been looking at all the specs and all the reviews and all the influencers that did their tests.
Yeah.
And this camera is one of many FX3 killers. Because FX3 has been, the GOAT when it comes to this mid-budget to low-budget cinema-ready camera. It was in a feature film. It's in every single videographer that does any sort of events or even interviews or whatever in all of their camera bags. And all these other companies want to hop on, including Nikon, who just recently acquired Red. And now this camera is going to be the first camera Nikon's putting out that has Red codec internally, which is huge because Red has a freaking stranglehold on raw compressed, which means that Red raw is super valuable. And this thing comes in at like $2,500, I think. It could change. I could be wrong. But that's like almost half of what an FX3 is after the bells and whistles. But it does come with severe limitations. Even though it does 6K Red raw internally, open gate, don't quote me on that, you have to open up the battery pack to put the SD card in. Like, there's a micro HDMI port, which is, like, unbelievable for a camera that's supposed to be a cinema camera. To have a micro HDMI, let alone, like, an HDMI. You think an SDI would be the out and an HDMI. So there's a lot of confusing decisions. It also created, like, a wafer cracker. It's, like, freaking tiny and skinny. It just isn't ergonomic. I know for a fact that all these companies like Small Rig or Condor Blue, they're gonna just like once it comes out, just rig the crap out of it, make it look like a Komodo X, with a little box rig and the V mount battery at the back. Like I just can see the rigs from now, but it's a little disappointing if you are thinking that this is going to be the camera that makes you legit and all these are like extra stuff that you have to rig out and buy on in order for this to be an official, legit cinema camera. What are your thoughts?
I think everybody's playing catch up to Sony right now with their FX3, and that's why so Nikon and Red are coming out with their Nikon ZR that we just talked about, right? And then Canon's coming out with their C50, and that's supposed to be their FX3 killer kind of thing. And just put it in perspective, like the FX3 came out 4 or 5 years ago almost. You know what I mean? Like there's like some time and like energy that was put into that like obviously everybody else was just behind. Just simply put, just behind, and they're just playing catch up. And Sony has been ahead in that sense, and I don't see it really being a competition at all. Even when they came out with their FX3 killer, it's still not as good as the FX3. So it's just like I don't understand why it's like everybody's trying to do their thing when they kind of did it best already. Like figure something else out. Figure out what you can do better. Nikon has the the Red codecs.
Yeah.
They should have played on that way more rather than just building a different camera to try to compete with the FX3.
Yeah, but they literally just got Red, so it's understandable that they acquired Red not too long ago.
Like a year ago
they
now?
Developed this camera, and here's the big thing, right? you don't want to build a camera that's going to compete with the Red lineup. Because, like, you have a Komodo that's already priced around 5 to 6K.
Yep.
You have a V-Raptor that's in the 20 to 30. And then you have all these other legacy Red cameras that people still use to this day. I was just on set. We were on set where they're shooting off a Helium and then a Red Komodo X's as B and C cam. And it's funny because, you know, I feel like lately Red has been okay with, like, coming out with a camera that completely abolishes a previous camera that they just released.
Yeah.
Like the Red Komodo X versus the OG Red Komodo. So anyone who owns a Red Komodo, they're just like, what do I do? I can't sell this for more than $2,000. You know?
Exactly.
And then the V-Raptor, they came out with another V-Raptor that has global shutter that completely diminishes the first V-Raptor that they released. And that's, of course, the V-Raptor that I own. So it's a ride or die type camera. It's not a resellable camera anymore for me because I'll just lose a bunch of money. Still a great camera, don't get me wrong. It's just, I think what this was, it was Nikon, since they acquired Red, their attempt to make a camera that complements a Red Komodo X as an A cam. And they didn't want to compete with the Red Komodos. They didn't want to make it as good as the Red Komodos because they know that people would just buy that instead of Red Komodo. So this is a perfect B cam interview setup, gimbal cam for run and gun shoots, to have footage that can match your Red setup. Because let's be honest, having a Komodo as a run and gun camera is less than ideal. There's no autofocus. Well, there is autofocus, but it's not the best. I mean, FX3 is king there.
Yeah.
It's not the best in low light. I mean, it's pretty good in low light, but it's not the best. To set it up on a gimbal, you need all these extra rigging techniques and things. If you put on a big lens, which it doesn't make sense that you would use a Red Komodo and not put a really nice cinema lens on it. Then you run into a whole another slew of problems. It doesn't have in-body stabilization. There's a bunch of things that I feel like the Reds never really had outside of just like their unbelievable color science and their red raw compression internal that Nikon could definitely fill the gaps in to make a more complete package for filmmakers who are trying to land these $10,000 to $20,000 film projects. But I feel like they did that. They went into it saying, like, worried so much about that aspect, like trying not to price out their own product, they didn't think about, like, the consumer. No. They're like, oh, let's just put the camera or the SD card in the battery slot. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. We're in 2025. I don't feel like I've ever seen a camera do that that's released, that's new, like within the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but still, like, not one that I would use. Not even close.
So is it like you have to take out the battery in order to get to the card?
You'd have to like open the battery slot down, and then it's a micro SD too.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Micro SD and then CFast Express, I think, are the two cards that it takes. Not even a regular SD card. FX3 has dual card slots for SD and CFast.
Yeah.
So you could shoot two CFast at the same time, have a backup card, you're set.
Yep. Yeah, and it's like, I think you're right. I think it's meant to complement Red footage, and it's like, okay, we can color it the same. It's the exact same codecs and everything, so that makes completely sense. But it seems like somebody made a decision, which like, we're going to make a camera that competes with the FX3. And like it was totally lost in the sense of like where we're actually going with what we want to do here with make a camera that complements this versus we want an FX3 killer. And it's like, those two things aren't the same thing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But the thing that is like where you could be like, I forgive them, is the price point. It's significantly less than FX3. So you would probably be a great candidate to upgrade to something like this, right? Because you're currently shooting on a ZV-E10, which is around $1,500, $1,000 to $1,500. And if you wanted that next step up, a full frame camera that has 4K, 6K capabilities, that makes you look a little bit better with the color science, you're looking at either an A7 IV, which is right around the same price, this new camera, the Nikon ZR, or you're looking at I don't know. I don't even really know the rest of the market. I'm not really paying attention too much.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you're looking at those two cameras, in my opinion. I mean, unless you want to go Canon, I'm not a Canon guy,
Same.
so I don't really know much about Canon.
Even in that same sentiment, like that's why they came out with the FX2, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, but the FX2, what is that? Also a crop sensor?
No, it's full frame, same sensor as the A7 IV.
Oh,
It's just the workhorse body of the cinema body.
Okay, there you go. So you have an FX2 or this camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are your two options, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you going and why?
FX2, because I also think FX2 is still the same sensor as the A7 IV. I don't know how well, like megapixel wise or photo wise, the Nikon Red is, but A7 IV is a great hybrid camera. If I can get that out of the FX2 plus the workhorse body of the FX3, then that's all I'm game for that. And plus, like, just talking about like ecosystems, like we're Sony, like that's what we do. We have one Red, cool. That makes sense in that settings, but we don't bring that out for normal occasions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, okay, cool. This makes sense in this one situation that we don't go to often. So no, this doesn't make sense.
I guess, but like, let's take yourself out of the ecosystem.
Okay.
You're no longer a Sony guy, right? You're just like, you're trying to upgrade from that crappy camera that you were shooting on when we first started working together, and you're in the $2,000 budget. Are you going FX2 or are you going Nikon?
Still FX2. Simply because, like, even right now, like, an issue that I have is, like, storage, where it's just like, hey, like, storage is a real thing that, like, not a lot of people talk about, and storage is, like, you need to store everything that you shoot. So you want to have fun, you want to go practice, you want to go do your thing, and, you know, shoot a bunch of stuff. It's like, cool, go practice. That's what everybody talks about. Like, go out, do whatever, film anything. It doesn't matter, you know? But you need to store all that footage, and that's a real thing, and that adds up very quickly.
Yeah.
So if I'm talking about, okay, what am I trying to get at this stage right now to kind of level up, but at the same time not level up to the point where, like, causes all these other problems, you know? And that's the FX2, because FX2 is still the regular 4K that I'm going to get. It's just a better sensor now, but it's not
More
compressed 6K red footage that I need to, like, go through hoops just to figure out and, like, decompress to actually look at this footage. And
well, it is compressed. So that's the cool thing. Is it's raw, which is why it's so big, but it's compressed, so it's not.
It's still playable, but
it's not. It's just not as big. Like if you take Ari raw and you take Black Magic raw, and you put an hour of that compared to an hour of Red raw, or even ProRes raw. Like if you export, you know, Sony has the ability to export raw to an Atomos recorder, something I've never done before, even though I have the recorder. I feel like, oh yeah, I can shoot raw now, and I just never do it because it's so big. It's going to be significantly smaller with the Red files because it's compressed raw. So I don't know the technical, like, logistics around it. Like, I'm not sure, like, how it works. All I know is that Red has a patent on it.
Yeah.
And that was always a big controversy in the film space, is like, can somebody have a patent on compressed raw
footage? Because
that seems like if you have a patent on film, you know, like, if you, like, the only time you could shoot on film is by hiring or by buying our product of film reels. Yeah. That doesn't seem fair, right? Because film is just a medium.
Yeah.
So is compressed raw.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that how they're giving it away with it is because you could have uncompressed raw too. So the fact that uncompressed raw exists means that you don't necessarily need compressed raw to have raw footage.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but I think that's what gives it the advantage. I feel like after hearing you speak, this is more of like I'm shooting on Red already. I want to see your decam. I'm gonna get this.
That's light, that's nimble, that has the form factor of an FX3 that I can match to my Reds.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's just we're most likely gonna get it.
Yeah.
Like the only thing stopping us from getting it right now is we just don't have a lot of work that needs to be shot on Red.
Yeah.
We could get away with most of our stuff on Sony, and everybody's happy.
Yeah. But even then, like, I still think 2 FX3s is better than, you know, your Komodo and then the Nikon.
That's a whole nother conversation. Let's move on. Okay, so we have some big rumors.
Talking about, but going back to some more gear stuff, right? I know we were talking about gear, but going back to patents, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like these weird patents that people set up early on and just like doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
I forgot what company has a patent on like wirelessly monitoring audio and lavs, like wireless lavs. There's a company that has a patent on that, and that's why when all these companies, DJI, Hollyland, all these other companies came out with, now they have wireless monitoring, all this other stuff, like wireless lavs, like they're all getting sued because of it.
Really?
Yeah, because like this one company 50, 60 years ago just had a patent on it for whatever reason, and they're the only ones to ever do it at the time. And
Wow.
and then now it's like a big issue. And then especially with DJI being in China and doing all that, it's like just a bunch of different issues that come around it. But they're still doing it. I don't know where Hollyland is. I think Hollyland's like Korea or Japan. So, I mean, I'm sure they're running into the similar issue or the same issue.
They don't care about patents.
Yeah, literally, they're like, so we just need to pay? It's like, yeah. It's like, okay. Like,
I'm saying they don't care about. That's not going to stop them from doing what they want to do.
Exactly, but
They're
it's
like, we're not paying that. We don't live there.
Oh, true. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
That's totally what it is.
They're just making the consumer pay at that point.
Yeah, but honestly, yeah, they'll probably. I mean, that's just kind of wild that that's a patent. I mean, I can't see that holding up in court at this point. There's so many wireless lavs out there that exist that I guarantee they're not paying a licensing fee for the technology.
The only way I would see it kind of passing in the States, at least, is because all the controversy with like DJI and drones and all this other stuff.
But like,
what I mean?
was Sennheiser?
I don't know. I don't know if it's
paying for
Sennheiser or
them?
not, but
Is that the one?
I think it should be. That's the only like.
That's the only
old-
wireless lav that I know of.
Yeah, that was back in the day. you
Yeah.
know?
So anyway, that's interesting. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, so just something I thought of when we were talking about patents.
Yeah.
Weird patents.
Not just weird patents, but like monopoly patents.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And same thing, again, gear, right? Apple.
Yeah.
Like the reason why Apple converted their newer iPhone generations to USB-C is because they got sued because they had the lightning cable, right? And they're like, this is only for iPhones. And it's like, you can't have a monopoly on charging and phones and cables and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So like they got sued and they lost, and that's why they switched to USB-C because it's more universal to other phones, not just
I thought they were just
their
being.
phones.
I thought they were being homies. You're telling me that they freaking wanted to have a, like be
100%. Apple?
Yeah.
not try to get more money out of you? What?
Yeah.
Like no, they definitely were forced to do that because they had a monopoly on just lightning cables and stuff like that. No other
Crazy.
phone has a lightning cable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's true. But like I hear that from everyone. Even Mark Zuckerberg talks about it with Meta. He's like, everybody's so cool to work with except for Apple.
I'd believe it.
They just won't. They just don't want you. Like they don't want to mix into your ecosystem at all. Like with the MetaQuest. This is
Yeah.
kind of a segue.
Yeah.
Because this is one of our other topics.
There you go.
Is
welcome.
Apple's headsets. But with the MetaQuest, I'm trying to upload.
MetaQuest? No, that's the.
No, that's Facebook. But I'm just
okay.
We're doing a long extended segue into our next topic.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry.
Bear with me on the segue.
I'm new to this podcast. thing.
Bear with me on the segue here. We're going. We're making our way.
Yeah.
MetaQuest 3, which is probably one of the most advanced VR headsets for the price point. You're able to upload stuff from your gallery, like videos or photos. And on your phone, you could take spatial videos and spatial photos if you have like a 16 or plus like phone. And the reason why you're able to do this, and this is what Apple wants, is they want you to take these photos or videos and then you go into your vision and then you can relive them in VR. Because when you're taking the photo, you know how like the phone has like the 3 lenses on it?
Yeah.
It's using these 2 lenses to capture the spatial photo or video, which gives it that 3D effect.
Okay.
So it's sick.
Interesting.
And I've been documenting my child growing up using the spatial video. And all I want to do is make a super export of like her as a baby to now.
Yeah.
And see it in my MetaQuest 3. But Apple refuses to give MetaQuest 3 the update in order for you to see it. And it's only for the 15. For the 16, for some reason, I mean, I gotta check again now that the 17's out. Maybe they're just one generation behind all the time. But I've like literally like tried 4 or 5 separate times, just thinking like, pretty soon they'll add this, right? And Zuckerberg talks about how like, yeah, Apple's just like the hardest company to work with when it comes to integration. But they are also, unfortunately, absolute freaking wizards when it comes out to the products they release, and they just released their new Vision with an M5 chip. And I know what you're thinking, wow, a new Vision, exactly what the consumers wanted, because the last one went so well. Just kidding, it didn't. It completely flopped. So I'm assuming this will. The cool thing, though, and this is the thing that we're going to talk about, is you use the Vision on set to experience VFX in real time. It's that fast. It's 50% faster than the last one. So is there a legitimate use case for the Apple Vision on Hollywood sets?
I would say so. I think like just off of that alone, I think that's a great instance. It's like off of that statement alone, I think it's great just to like jump into like the idea of it all, you know, because we've had the technology of like being able to see VFX like in monitor in real time already, like on set, like that's been a real thing for a couple of years now. But being able to like integrate it faster and faster into your daily use, yeah, cool. Yeah, this year it's in the Apple Vision Pro, but in 5 years, like Meta already has AR glasses. Like what's stopping Apple from making their own vision glasses, you know, where they have AR, where you can literally just wear glasses like these and just see all your VFX day to day, you know, when you're on set. So I totally think it's like the starting grounds of that next project, of that's where we're going with it. So I think it is going to show up. Do I think the Vision Pro is really that influential right now and is going to be that right now? No. But do I see it being the starter to something greater down the line? 100%. I think it's a great like next step in that generation. It feels like this is going to be like an exponential next couple years of like Apple really kind of coming out swinging, because they kind of been doing the same thing, right? Apple's been making iPhones, making AirPods, made some cool headphones, you know, whatevs. Like same thing for the past like 5 to 8 years, you know? So the next step is like, I think they're going to come out swinging with their AI, because their whole thing with the 16 was like, has the new AI, it's like way better and blah, blah, blah. And it was pretty lackluster, like nothing really crazy. But I think they're just like working on it in secret. And I think they're going to come out swinging, especially next year when they came out with all this Vision Pro stuff, when they come out with their new AI, when they come out with a bunch of new products. So unfortunately,
they have now earned the reputation of being a couple of years behind when it comes to all the things. And if Meta's coming out with these like sunglasses that's mixed reality, I feel like that's the next thing Apple's going to come out with. And that's definitely the thing that's going to hit in the market. Like I would buy the mixed reality glasses like tomorrow. I don't know if they're out yet. Are they out?
The Meta ones?
Yeah.
Not yet. The AR ones aren't out yet. But he literally demoed them at the conference that they had. Like it's literally walking around and like text messages popping up on his glasses, you know?
That's crazy.
And then you have like
I feel like I'm going to get brain cancer though.
I mean, anything can give you brain cancer nowadays.
Yeah, but you get Wi-Fi and batteries right next to my temples. It's like...
Yeah, but that's what everybody's always said since like phones started, you know?
Yeah, true.
But like apparently there's a wristband that you wear around your wrist and you can scroll like this. That's how you scroll through your phone, because it'll track your like thumb movement from like this tendon right here.
Dang.
And that's how you scroll. So you just like that and you're just scrolling.
My wife would hate this.
She always... Like, are you even listening to me?
Yeah. Are you on your phone right now? No, I'm looking right at you.
And like your eyes just dart to the side.
I was just like, I'm right here. I'm listening. That's crazy.
I'm gonna need to confiscate your wristband.
Give me that.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of like the phone, it's the wristband. Hey!
Maybe, I mean, in a world, you know, 10 years, I mean, kids don't have phones now. They just have glasses and their wristbands. You know?
Bro.
That'd be insane.
Well, that's going to be a real problem. Sorry. For schools. Yeah. Because you could have these glasses on and you could be looking at the teacher and just doing this. You know, that could be an issue. Or you're looking at your test and it's telling you all the answers. And you're just tracing.
Yeah.
Oh
lot
my
of
gosh, bro.
uncharted territory.
We're entering into something. We need to evolve as a society. I don't think we're evolving as a society fast enough as we're evolving when it comes to technology.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like exponential rise of all this new tech is like cool because it's exciting. It's like new possibilities. But whenever we talk about new possibilities, new technology, like you always have to talk about like the downsides and how people are going to exploit that technology. And that's just the reality of it.
Yeah. But let's talk about this because we are still let's segue. I don't know how to properly segue this. Let's segue over into the film industry, right? And we're doing sequels to prequels.
Sequels to prequels.
How does that work? Hunger Games, I guess, is coming out with a new movie, and they are replacing one of the actresses. Let me look at my notes here.
But sequels to prequels is not unheard of. Like Star Wars did it, and everybody loves Star Wars, and that was literally like 20 years ago now. Kind of crazy to think about. Actually.
Yeah, that's true. But like, no, that was just I guess that was a sequel to a prequel. Yeah,
they had 3.
Yeah, but this one, I don't know. I really don't know much about this prequel. But where the heck is it? So many things.
Yeah, I don't know much about. I watched the first prequel of the Hunger Games. Watched it on a plane ride. Honestly, I actually really liked it. I don't know why. Like, it has to do with, like, not even, like, Katniss Everdeen, the main character in the regular films. It has to do with, like, the head of the games and who created it and, like, how he became who he is and, like, how he kind of became jaded and, like, a part of the society that they live in.
Okay, Effie Trinket is that character that that Elizabeth Banks plays.
Yeah.
And she's, like, the sponsor of District 13 or whatever.
Yeah.
Elle Fanning is taking over as the role. And, people online are split. Some people are excited about the fresh face, fresh energy. And others are like, oh, there goes Hollywood, just trying to take our money with some nostalgia, So, like, I think this is kind of a good topic to talk about a bigger issue that I feel like gets talked about way too much, but doesn't really ever get acted on because I don't know if it's broken yet. And that is just like Hollywood's just reliance on IP, sequels, prequels, frequels, all the quels, and audiences complaining about it but still watching it. Do you feel like it'll go away soon? I mean, we're at a point where Disney, how many Disney animation remakes have to flop before they get the message?
Yeah.
They're still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, DreamWorks is like, oh, let's make a live action How to Make Your Dragon. That really goes well for Disney. Mm-hmm. And then Marvel's like, oh, let's do 17 different spinoffs of the same superhero movie franchise. Let's see if that works. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. But then again, Superman did well. Fantastic Four did well. These movies are crushing in overseas box offices. So, like, the Asian countries, Europe, all those places. And that's kind of where all the people go out and still watch movies in theaters.
Yeah.
There's a lot to digest there.
Mm-hmm. And
I know you probably don't have the answer. But I
have my opinions.
Give me your opinion.
Okay, like I think a lot of executives in the film industry and like just the film industry is looking for a safe bet because of how expensive it is to create movies and how bad movies are doing. Right, it's a big risk to put on a $200-300 million production. So they need safe bets, and that's why they go back to IP every time. So we're talking about like your Cinderellas, the things do well, right? That's why they're recreating these things, because it's a rather safe bet rather than betting a $300 million on an original idea that nobody might like,
Yeah, but I mean, they're not winning most of the time. It's still risky.
Yeah.
Who knows if the audience would really go up and show up for it? But I mean, like the last Hunger Games prequel, made on 100 million, made 350 million, and 180 of that million was international. So I feel like maybe they're thinking like, as long as our budget's small enough to where internationally we can make it back, because you can't really count on the domestic anymore, you know. So that's probably where they're getting the budgets for these remakes and these sequels and everything like that. They're just doing very, very just nice and risk adverse calculations on what could we potentially make from like our strongest markets.
Yeah. That's exactly what I think it is, and I think they're just trying to be risk adverse, and that's inherently still less risk than creating an original idea.
Yeah, but we're all just so angry about it. I mean, I like hate that my options are 70 to 80% something that I've already seen done, something that I know about, or like based on an original story or based on a real life event or blah, blah, blah. And then the remainder is just like a really cool movie idea that somebody had. But unfortunately, the only thing that's original is a horror film. Like, that's the only things that get produced as like original movies. They're either horror films or they're like self-discovery, like coming of age movies that just look so soapy to me, you know? Or they're just made by the biggest director or the most popular director of all time, and there's only so many times I could justify going and watching a Wes Anderson film, you know? So like, I feel like those are the 3 times that original film gets made, and it's kind of sad. Yeah, it's just like you have to wait for January, like when the Academy Award nominees come out, to really even get a taste of what the original films are, and then half of them are Oscar baits. So it's like, I don't know, you know,
I think
sad.
Yeah, I think it's a rough time in the film industry and like what's getting produced, but I think it's definitely an opportunity for you know, younger creatives to actually like show their creativity, because at the end of the day, why did Superman do well? Why did Fantastic Four do well? Like, we've seen these characters, we've seen this dynamic before. Why did they do well? It's because you give a director who is creative enough that has a different story to tell and can put them in their own way, put the characters in their own storyline that is curated to them, not just Fantastic Four and this is what they do, you know, not just Batman, not just, it's the story around these characters that create a different storyline that we've never seen before.
We're talking about James Gunn, though. He's been around for too long.
Yeah, true. I mean, I totally agree.
Yeah, but
I get it's a different spin on Superman. That's why we go watch it every time. You know?
I get it.
Especially superhero characters. That's a little different, though, than original. But, I mean, talk about Ep.4. Again, original ideas get produced, lower budgets. They come out, and then now Ep.4 is a little bit more of like a, like you said, horror kind of mecca, and that's usually what they kind of bank off of, and not much other success in like different genres. And because A24 is that moody, is that gritty, is that kind of scary, unsettling feeling,
or just like they're also like just extremes, like
exactly,
like over, like, you know, like very explicit with like sexual connotations, or very explicit with X, Y, and Z type messages.
And I think it is because they can't rely on like theoretically A-list actors to produce the highest level acting to come through in their movie and really bring a script to life, you know?
They can. I mean, they've done that. They bet a lot. This is what their bets are. They bet on a good, like a compelling script with a good lead and talented unknowns. And that's kind of like how they do it. It's either that, or they give somebody who's known for one thing and make them a director. It's like one of those two things, you know? And it's a good formula, and I really want it to continue. I just know that, like, unfortunately, the public, if it's not something they already know about, they're going to go watch something that makes them scared. And so the only thing that gets green lit that's original is like horror films, and it's just sad because I hate horror films.
I love scary movies.
I know. I hate them. I hate them, man. And And it's just like we talked about this in a previous podcast. Comedies are dying, and the reason why they're dying is because social media is so funny. You don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
And we kind of segue into Ridley Scott's comments about how he thinks Hollywood's dead, creativity's dead, and the only thing creative to watch now are his old films, which is hilarious because you know, some of his films are based off of source material, so don't know where he's going there. But I mean, I kind of agree a little bit with his sentiment that like there's nobody in Hollywood with the balls enough to really like go for something that hasn't been done in a category that's not horror. Like the most compelling creative piece that I've seen put out was the film that was executive produced by Jordan Peele, and that's the only reason why. Is it Jordan Peele? Jordan. Yeah, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
him?
Yeah. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah, you should not watch that.
Scary.
I liked it.
But
I
it
enjoyed
looks
it.
cool. Like I wish I liked scary stuff because I want to watch cool stuff. Like I had to like pain myself through all of Ari Aster's movies because I love him as a director, but
Yeah.
they're scary. Maybe I'm just being a wimp. But
Yeah, I think you should watch it. I think it will definitely kind of thought provoke you, and like just me knowing you and like who you are, you know. I think it'll lead to a lot of conversations in your head, and like once you get back away from like the horror or like the kind of goriness of it, once you take a step back, kind of digest the movie, I think it would be a good like thought exercise to go through, because that movie is him is very based in like religion and kind of. Yeah, have you seen the trailer at all? Really? Well, I know you don't really like watching trailers, but
he's like a football player.
yeah, he's supposed to be like the next one in line, you know, like okay, this kid is like the next guy. He's the next star quarterback. He's the next Tom Brady essentially, you know? And like what it takes to get there and what you have to sacrifice and like what parts of yourself you have to sacrifice, and there's things that come with this that you aren't ready for, but are you willing to accept that, you know? And it really goes deep down into religion, and not more of like a satanic route, but like more of like a God route. Like this gift is like God given, and this is God willed, and stuff like that. So that's why I think it would be like a good. I don't think you'd agree with it, but I think it's a good exercise for you to like think about it. But again, going back to like Jordan Peele, and you know, those are the only creative, and going back to Ridley Scott's comments, like first off, I think that type of narrative is inherently why the film industry is how it is right now, because it's like all these older guys or all these film guys are just like, we know quality, we know what's good, we know blah, 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 when you're saying it's full of mediocrity, but like everything that's doing well is the creative stuff. A24 is killing it because they create stuff, you know?
Yeah, and you're right when you say that like the only superhero movies that do well are the ones that are really creative. Because I enjoyed Superman.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Fantastic Four. And those are both very creative films. I mean, did they lack a little character development? Did they lack a little bit of, like, depth? Yeah, for sure. It's popcorn watching material. But I feel like the other thing that shapes art is society. And right now, society does not support like very art house films, and that's why they don't get made, and that's just simply put, you know. And it's sad because I wish that more people did, but if they're not going out and watching these original scripts or these comedy movies or whatever that are good, you know, in theaters, like Edgar Wright's coming out with a movie called Running Man, and I know that's going to be a slapper, and I really hope it does well in theaters. Because if it doesn't, then what it tells me is that one of the most talented directors when it comes to physical comedy and one of the most creative directors can't pull numbers simply because of his creativity or talents. Because that's going to be an original script, right? Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it's the economy, right? Like at the end of the day, again, it's all about the money, no matter what.
Yeah, but it's not just the economy, though. It's the people, like us. We love to complain about about like the sequels and the prequels and the cash grabs, but we still do it. We still fall for the cash grab. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you really want to see change in Hollywood, just stop showing up to those and start showing up to the other ones. Start taking chances. Start going for these things instead of these things. And I think we're getting there, like with A24 for sure. Like they've had some really big blockbuster hits and successes and big money makers from films that are completely original, but we're not completely there because it's still happening and they're still making money. Like my dream would be for Disney to lose $3 billion on all their ridiculous remakes, and then maybe just maybe they can come out with a film that actually has some like heart and soul to it, as opposed to being something that worked in the past or something where they're trying to like send a message that a very obvious like, oh, we should make this character this thing, and then like it just feels like so constructed based on like a narrative they're trying to push, where it should just be like a good story. Gets a little political, but whatever. I don't care. I just feel like we're just missing people telling stories that are like first good, as opposed to first like, what are we doing? Like how's this gonna affect our numbers? Like that's sort of like how I feel like people are seeing it.
Yeah, 100%.
Is like, is this gonna get us the most box office views, or is this gonna get us the most money? It's like, no, just tell something that's good and authentic to you, and people are gonna resonate with that.
But
it's very complex.
But who is Disney's who? Like you?
Yeah.
There's no like one person that can like,
I don't know, whoever's making the movie. It just feels like whenever Disney puts out an original thing, it's not just like one person telling a story. It's like 500 people trying to tell. Okay, a great example, bro, is that K-pop Demon Slayer movie. You see that?
I love
sick,
it.
Dude.
So fun.
So dope.
Music's
I just
great.
watched it on Netflix.
Yeah.
So sick. That one felt like somebody had a really fun idea, and then they told it like really, really authentic. It was very authentic. Oh my gosh, that was a good one. And I feel like that one you could say was even like progressive in narrative. So you can't make this argument that like all progressive movies are bad because they're trying to send a message. No, you just need to have like a good story. And that was a good story. And the music was fire, and it was funny, and it was well executed.
Yeah. Animation was great.
Animation was amazing.
Yeah.
Sony animation team.
Killed it.
They're so good. Even with the Spider-Man movies.
Love it. Can't wait.
That was a lot. Yeah. What else were we talking about? Oh yeah. So you learned a little bit more about AI.
Yes.
That's what you're telling me pre-podcast. And I'm on the Sora app now.
Yeah.
You're not.
No.
Do you have any interest on being in the Sora app? Because I could send you an invite code.
I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Because my understanding is like you can give access, or you could choose the access of your likeness, right?
That's what we kind of talked about. Yeah, you can create your likeness.
Yeah.
And then you can allow other people to create videos of you.
Yeah. And like I said, the reason I have more information is because I listened to Colin Samir talk about this, and that's why I have a little bit more insight. And I definitely kind of like agree where it's like, okay, this is novel to whoever's creating it, but I don't see it being novel to others. You know what I mean?
I know. I feel like it's really fun for me and my inner circle.
Yeah.
Because we're just making like hilarious stuff.
Yeah.
But when I'm actually scrolling the homepage,
it's like I don't
because it's a social page.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the heck is this guy?
No.
What are they doing?
What's the point?
What's the point of this?
Yeah.
The only ones that go viral on there, if you could consider it viral, are when they get like Queen Elizabeth to do like some crazy thing, or Kobe Bryant. Like I watched one where Kobe Bryant's pregnant riding a Tron bike. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, exactly. And
Never thought I'd see that.
So like going off of that, like why am I interested in this? Why does this matter? There's no depth here, right? And that's what we want. Like, we just want a surface level kind of app. We just want surface level content because there's no real anything else here.
It's pretty fascinating, man. You can make yourself do stuff. Yeah, I don't think you really understand until you do it.
No,
because I didn't understand either.
I
started doing
I see it. I've seen a lot of people use it. I've seen you use it.
Did you see my 2.5 minute documentary of my baseball career?
Yes, I did.
How fire was that?
You went from team to team, everything.
Yeah.
You got mad at reporters.
Yeah, I was pushing cameras out my face. I played for Japan.
Exactly.
I was speaking fluent Japanese.
Exactly.
And like people are doing it. It's like so fun to see like all these people doing these, like there's like these new trends coming out where they would like, this is like one that's super popular I see all the time, where it starts and it's a basketball player and it's the person who created it, and the reporter's like, so do you think you're gonna hang it up after this season? And then the guy goes, you know, I don't know, I'm tired. And then it's like, dun, 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 dun. And then it's just like, I mean, Karen Bennett, wow, takes it home, wins the championship for the Lakers. And it's a presser. And he's like, so how many more seasons do you have? Well, you know, I accomplished a really good career. I won a couple MVPs, a couple championships. I mean, I think I might hang it up soon. And then it flashes forward. The first overall pick for the Los Angeles Lakers, Cam Bennett. And then Rookie of the year, what do you have to say for yourself? Wow, I mean, I'm incredibly blessed to be able, you know, it's like a whole
movie
like a
montage.
Yeah, my montage was just like I thought it would be fun to just go like start from beginning to end, but people are like really getting creative with it. They're like starting from the end and then like going back and forth and jumping around and stuff. Yeah. And they're like cutting it up to be like really like dynamic and everything. Yeah. Like I made mine like a movie. Whereas they made theirs as like a hype reel almost, you know? And now people are doing that for like George Washington.
Insane.
Or like Teddy Roosevelt. I saw it was Teddy
Insane.
As a basketball player. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's great, dude. It's so funny.
But like you can't sit here and say, I want creativity from Hollywood and then go to Sora and be like this George Washington riding some like a bull or something.
It's so creative, dude. All that is so creative.
Yeah, but it's surface level. There's no depth there.
Yeah, but that's what you get on Instagram or in TikTok.
Yeah, but you can't say that there's a difference because it's like inherently feeding into why Hollywood is how Hollywood is. You know what I mean? Like we're not helping this cause either way, you know?
Yeah, but I will say that it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Entertaining.
And when I'm like trying to determine what is art considered, having fun is up there for sure. Because, I could sit here and critique the fact that they're making all these, you know, Hollywood blockbuster remakes, sequels, prequels, you know, spin-offs, whatever.
Yeah.
But I enjoy them if they're fun and if they're entertaining and if they're original and if they're creative. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, yeah, I see where it sounds hypocritical of me to think that Sora is, like, super cool, but also critique all these. But I'm only critiquing the movies where it's just clear that they're just trying to capitalize on emotion to make money. Whereas, yeah, they're capitalizing on a big name like Superman, but like they're trying to just like James Gunn was just trying to make a fun, authentic comic book Superman movie, and he did that, and I thought that was sick because I had fun watching it and I enjoyed watching it.
But did we have fun because it's Superman? That's what I think it is. I think we loved Fantastic Four because I never seen Fantastic Four go through this. And I love Fantastic Four, so let's see them in different situations.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think the way that he did the villain arc in that movie was really great.
For which one?
For Superman.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're not going to talk about spoilers, but if you haven't watched it by now, maybe you should watch it. Like, I mean, it's way too late to give spoiler warnings for Superman, I think.
No, yeah, we're fine.
But, like, Lex Luthor, like, from the jump, like, had Superman beat. First scene. He falls into the snow, and he's just like... And Lex Luthor is out here just, like, working every angle. Usually, a superhero, like, or any sort of movie that has, like, a big bad and a big good how it works is you got your good, and the good's doing good, and then something trips him up, like maybe ego or blah, 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 or this and that, and then he gets a weakness. And usually whatever trips him up creates the big bad. You know, it's like, you know, let's say
Inherently causes.
Exactly. Like
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, kind of. But like let's say like a good example would be like he saved everybody except for this one kid. And this one kid got severely injured, and that kid grew up, and now that kid's like evil and smart. He's like in a wheelchair, but he's an evil villain now. That's the big bad. And the big bad was created by the good, lacking. It's either a misunderstanding of the good or, there's there's always like these like just super stereotypical things where it's like bad guy and good guy, same guy, just different perspective or different experience or different reaction to a similar circumstance. Like that's always kind of how it works. No, not for Superman. Right away, he's beat by Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor was freaking working it from the very beginning of the movie. It was super entertaining to see and very refreshing to watch. And yeah, did I enjoy Superman being Man of Steel and all the things that I would expect Superman to be? Yeah, of course. But like that wasn't the reason why I liked the movie. The reason why I liked the movie was because what they did with the story I thought was really refreshing. Because I wasn't expecting it, and it was fun.
Exactly.
So that's that's where I'm trying to go with all of this.
Yeah.
And something that I'm having fun with when it comes to AI is seeing how refreshing and how creative these people can be on the app when coming up with these different things. And like something I don't really like social media is like everyone's doing the same thing. I've seen like 17 videos of some guy leading off with I don't know, I'm just tired. And then, dun, dun, dun. Yeah. And it's the same video, pretty much. So, like, there's that. But the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, that's hilarious. And I feel like Sora is just another tool for creatives to be creative. I don't... The minute I feel like AI is, like, replacing creativity is when I'm going to get upset. But I feel like the best Sora material that I'm watching comes from somebody being creative first. Yeah. If I type in, a video of Cameron doing XYZ, it's not going to be great. But if I type in a whole 7-paragraph prompt detailing exactly what I'm doing in every single scene, what I'm saying as far as the words go, blah, 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 which is what I did for my little baseball documentary. Like every single video in there is like super prompted out. Yeah. That's when you get the best results. And that came from my creativity.
So do you think on Sora 2 currently, right now, as we speak, AI isn't generating its own prompts to create content on there? Do you think every single video on there is prompted by a human being?
Wow.
Do you think there's a world where there's a world in the future where you will have a feed that is literally curated specifically for you? Because they know what you like. It's all open AI, so they know your chat GPT. It's all integrated, so it knows what you're asking, knows what you're thinking about regularly.
That wouldn't be fun, dude. That wouldn't be fun.
But it knows you. It knows you well enough to know what you find entertaining.
Yeah, but like why?
Because that's what you want.
But the whole point of social media is like seeing how other people like operate.
No. Sora 2 proved that we just want to see entertaining, fun stuff.
Developed by other people, though.
I don't think inherently. I don't think 90% of people get to that second layer. I think inherently it's like, I just want to see fun stuff.
Yeah, but like who's scrolling on Sora, really? The only reason why I'm scrolling on Sora is because I want to see what other people are making. And if you're telling me that when I'm scrolling, that's a lie, like these profiles are just AIs that are prompting videos.
Like, what's the difference?
I have a hard time believing that. Two, like, I think I just want to see what the platform's capable of. And 3, I see this being like, I want to know what my friends are doing. And then eventually it could grow into, I want to know what the celebrity's up to. And then eventually we get influencers. And then now it's like an influencer economy, which is what OpenAI wants. That's why they did that. That's why they're doing this, right? But I don't know. It feels very fleeting.
Yeah.
Just inherently, like bro, I could be over this in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm not even on Sora to scroll. I'm just on Sora because like I came up with a video idea that I thought was funny where it's just 2 guys and they're just trying to figure out whether they're gonna handshake or fist bump. And I just featured my uncle in it.
That's funny.
And it's funny.
Yeah.
You know, I just wanted to kind of see it play out. Or just to show off to people who don't know what it is and say like, think of something.
Yeah.
And I type it in and I show them. I'm like, isn't that crazy? They're like, oh wow, what the heck?
Yeah. Because my thought process is like, okay, if you're going to see what other people are doing, what makes the difference of like, in my head, you're thinking what's capable. What is this platform capable of? What is possible here that came from a prompt? So it's like, why does it matter if it came from an AI or a human being? You know, what if the AI can show you, hey, this is the prompt that I use, so you can use that in your prompts, whatever. This is how I prompted this. This is how it came out. Cool. Now you know the equation.
Okay, so let's just play into your analogy.
Yeah.
You're on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. You could tell when it's an AI prompt, right? You can tell like when AI content pops up on your feed.
Yeah.
You hear the voice, it's like photos or videos, it's some talking, whatever. You can tell. I feel like you could still tell on Sora.
Yeah.
You can still tell if a human prompted this or if an AI prompted this.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the AI is there yet to sound like most of my feed on Sora is just like 17-year-olds floating to a Ring doorbell and just saying, I'm geeked, I'm geeked, I'm geeked. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, AI's not doing that. I'm sorry, you know? Or it's like
this kind of degenerate kind of
dude.
brain.
Or it's just like some dude and Jake Paul like arguing. And, you know, it's like this guy just clearly wanted to make a video of him arguing with Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Like, that's a human... Like, you know, you could see, like, the human motivation behind the behavior of using Sora that I feel like is recognizable and not super indistinguishable from AI and humans yet. Maybe eventually, but not right now.
What about trends?
What about trends?
Like, what if it's... again, Jake Paul's like a big thing right now, right? It's like Jake Paul and all these different things.
I think part of the marketing plan for OpenAI was
Jake Paul, 100%.
They were trying to get like celebrities to go on there and open their Cameo up to everybody.
Yeah.
And then they're, you know.
I think Jake Paul has like stake in Sora too.
I don't know if he has stake, but he definitely got a bag.
Yeah.
100% got a bag for sure.
Yeah. There's definitely some sort of incentive there.
Yeah. Either got a bag or he's just like utilizing it to promote his own stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's getting a lot of traffic, I bet, to his profile, being like, "Oh, what did you say about all these videos of him coming out?"
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But like, there's other celebrities that did it. I mean, like the CEO of OpenAI has an open, and there's like a kid in a wheelchair that has a open Cameo that people are using all the time. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I just think, like, have you seen any funny videos on Instagram or TikTok what are your funny ones?
My favorite ones are always like, it's like the outdoor wilderness cams, you know, like just like the night cameras that they have. So you'll just see like, I don't know why, but it's like a hamster or something like walk up and then he like lifts up and he's just like, just a little piece so cute. Or he like flexes, you know,
those are funny.
He's jacked.
I've seen those.
Those are pretty funny.
I've also seen like ones where you're in the living room and you're just chilling, and then all of a sudden like a moose just crashes through a big glass. He's like, ah, and then the moose is like
runs away.
But the funniest ones are like when you think it's like real because it just doesn't seem like super out of pocket or whatever. And then like the dog like looks at you and flips you off.
Yeah, exactly. Those are hilarious. I love
You're
those.
like, oh shoot, bro, we're cooked,
Yeah,
bro.
no.
I totally fell for that.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, obviously I have like some sort of feelings towards AI and supporting AI, and at least in this context, you know what I mean?
What's worse though? Because we talked about both of these, micro dramas or AI content. What's worse? You could, I mean, it's very complex, but you hate both of them.
I do hate
clearly.
both of them.
So which one's worse?
I think AI content.
Wow.
Yeah.
You would rather watch micro dramas
Than AI content.
Stop it. That's
Yeah.
a lie, bro. You
No.
would not.
I don't want to watch microdramas. Let's get that clear. But would I rather watch microdrama over, AI content? I think so. Just because at the end of the day, this is a real person. Again, the whole point of why I didn't like microdramas is because it was like inherently a cash grab for filmmakers and for people in the industry, stuff like that. But at least somebody's getting paid there. At least somebody's getting a benefit out of that. You know what I mean? Inherently, do I agree with like the benefit that they're getting? It's like, no, I don't. But at least somebody is benefiting from this. I think AI content's like, again, talking about like brain rot and like, again, the idea that you can be creative way more. It's like, okay, I get that. I see how that's a good thing. But again, no substance, no kind of depth here at all, and the likeliness of it turning into something else is very, very apparent right now.
Let's like bring this full circle,
Okay.
and then we'll give it a little close.
Okay.
AI, the way I see AI like going down is either one of two ways. The first way is it's going to be a tool in which these big corporate like companies are going to be able to make all the money, and the little guys are going to be the expenses that they're cutting out, right? So like you're going to be able to make these big, impressive looking Hollywood movies for half the money, and all these guys who are animators or CGI artists or even actors, extras, talent, they're going to be just not needed anymore, right? And that's sad. And that's obviously not ideal, but I mean, even back in the day when animation became a thing, people thought that animated movies would replace regular movies. Sometimes that's the case, sometimes it's not. But the second, and I think more beneficial use case for AI is that it gives small creators liberty and freedoms to actually like create something that is captivating enough for a larger audience to watch without as much risk financially. Like you can, I mean, bro, I feel like right now we can make like something that looks better than Lord of the Rings with AI animation or AI effects, CG. Have you seen Lord of the Rings recently?
Not recently, no.
Yeah, I just feel like some of the CGI in that, I was like, I think I could
rough.
film that better. You know, like I feel like I could do that better now with like an AI effect.
Yeah, interesting.
Which is really interesting. The problem is I feel like people are going to get burned out. The easier it is to do something, the more people are going to do it, and then everyone's going to be like, well, tired of seeing that. So really the cream's going to rise
To the top.
to the top. You know, is that the phrase?
Yeah,
The cream rises to the top. When it comes to AI, so it's not like everyone's going to be equally yoked here. It's like the talented people are still going to be the talented people. They're just going to know how to use AI better. But it does give those really talented people that nobody believes in yet the opportunity to really make a name for themselves without having to spend $100,000 on their feature. They could spend a third of that and still make something that looks really good, Hollywood level. You know, that's just like my take on AI, and that's why I'm like for it, but not worried about it.
Yeah.
but I am cautious of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. That totally makes sense. Like that thought process. It's like, oh, I could see that like on the other side of that hill, you know?
Yeah.
But I think as we go through that process, like there's going to be ramifications that we just can't imagine right now and can't think about. And I think those are going to be way larger, especially in our industry, than we really realize at that point. That's why I'm like very wary of it. But at the same time, I understand like me not being informed and not supporting puts me at a deficit because I don't know how to use it. You know what I mean? So
You might get left in the dust.
True.
You don't want to be that.
True.
You don't want to be that guy.
No, you're right.
But then again, it's not usable professionally.
No, not at all.
I don't think so.
At the moment.
At the moment.
At the moment.
You may be able to get away with a 2-second, 3-second establishing clip that's AI generated to say, "Oh, I'm in outer space."
Mm-hmm.
But
I've seen some good like product stuff out of it.
yeah, but like
Just like motion graphic stuff, like
Yeah.
very, very straightforward, very
mixed in though.
like I've just seen people playing with that type of content, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. That's like on brand with like I don't know, similar to like Apple's effects and like how they present stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So
It's because they have so much training data on product stuff because that's like just mostly what
everything.
gets made.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was cool, and I mean, for me, that's kind of interesting, like relevant. Like, oh, if I can do that instead of learning how to do this, cool. I'm kind of down.
Isn't it funny that TV, the only reason why TV exists is so that advertisers can have another way to advertise?
I didn't know that.
And that was like the main reason why they invented TV programs.
That's cool.
Because they're like afraid that TV would take away from films. Because
TV.
why would you go to a movie if you have a TV?
Mm-hmm.
But advertisers, you can't advertise in films.
Yeah.
So they're like, how can we advertise? So they came up with TV, which is kind of you. Can you imagine if TV was just you're watching TV shows? If you literally just like you had a TV and every time you want to watch a show, you just paid money to watch it.
Dang.
As opposed to like there being like ad breaks and stuff.
Yeah. That's why I love YouTube.
Yeah. You still get ads though.
It's okay.
Anyways, all right. That's our podcast.
Yeah.
It's a little off the rails today.
A little bit. I think
We used to be more structured than that.
Yeah. Jason's gonna be pissed.
He's gonna be so mad, dude.
Hey, Jason, just cut us some clips. Just figure it out.
Figure it out, Jason. Come on. We'll see you next week.
Deuces.
Peace.